Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning, ma'am.
So today we'll see which law is applicable in the long run related to the production. Okay. So law of variable proportion, I told you. There itself, we have different types or different stages you can see related to the long run production function. I told you there are two types of relationships. In the beginning, I told you yesterday. I told you there are two types of relationships. One is a returns to a factor, another one returns to a scale. Okay, returns to a factor means what? What do you mean by returns to a factor? From that term itself, you can tell what it is.
And only one input is varied.
One variable is changing or one input is changing. Because of that result, what are you getting? What returns or what changes is happening in the production? That is what you mean by returns to a factor. Now returns to scale that and returns to factor, that is applicable in the short run. Returns to scale, this is applicable in the long run, where we are making the factors, all the factors, we are making it variable. In the long run, you know that all the variable we can change, all the inputs we can change. Now returns to scale means what all changes is happening in the output of a particular industry as a result of increase in all the inputs. Okay, so what do you mean by returns to scale? The change happening in the output of a firm as a result of increase, a proportionate increase or a same proportion, the inputs when it is increasing, what change is happening in the output? Change always will be increasing. Here we are, I'm telling that proportionate increase in all inputs. So when there is an increase in all the inputs, what is happening? The change, there will be a change in the output also, that will be increased. Output will always be increased. So whatever changes are happening, yes.
Ma'am, can you repeat it again, ma'am?
Yeah. What do you mean by returns to scale in the sense? See, quantitative change in output. Quantity is increasing. It is increasing. As a result of what? A proportionate increase in all inputs. We are increasing all the inputs. As a result of what will happen to the output? When we are increasing the inputs, what will happen? What will be the result in the output?
Ma'am, the
Rahul?
output will increase.
Okay, there will be an increase. That law we call it as, or that we call it as returns to scale. Okay. Now long run production, again, it's put up in another words that we can say. It is an effect on output. How the output is, what effect we can see on the output when we are bringing a change in the inputs, and we are changing or increasing in the same proportion, we are increasing the input, and it will result in a change in the output. It will always be increased. Okay. And speciality, you know that in the long run, all the inputs are variable, because even the capital we can change in the long run. In the short run, it's not easy to change the capital because they are fixed and it will work for some years like that. So in the long run, all the inputs are variable. Because of these change, because of an increase in the all the inputs, what change is happening in the output? Always there will be an increase. That we call it as returns to scale here. Okay. And whenever we are changing, it's an assumption that we are changing. Whenever we are changing inputs, we are changing it in the same proportion. I will give you an example how it is. And this relationship, we call it as law of returns to scale. So two relationships I told you, returns to a factor and returns to a scale here. Okay. Next, one example related to it. Yeah, before that, I will show you that once we had one, I showed you one, just 1 minute. Okay. Here, three areas we can see the output 50. Whatever is given in the white, like these, labor is given on one side, capital is given on one side. These are the units of labor. These are the units of labor. These are the units of capital. As we are increasing, what is happening to the output? It is increasing. Now in this, there are three areas we can see 50, right? What are the combinations given for this 50? So this is first one. Take it as first one, this one. What are the combinations of labor and capital? Hmm?
Ma'am, 6 and 3.
6 and 3. Okay, so here labor, it is 6 and capital, it is 3. This is one combination. Okay, second combination.
4 on 4.
4 what? 4 labor, right?
Yes, ma'am.
L4, then K
4.
4. Okay, then third combination. What is the combination here? Anyone? Labor how many units?
3 and 6.
Labor 3, right?
Yeah.
K 6. Now, I'm just telling you to calculate the cost of this production. Okay, for example, you just take that L per unit, you take it as 2 rupees. Capital per unit, you take it as 5 rupees. Just calculate the cost of production for all the combinations. Now, before that, you might have written down all these combinations. Now just come to the topic, returns to scale. Okay, you can just calculate that. Now here, in this long run production function, okay, which I told you returns to scale, there are 3 stages of production. One we call it as increasing returns to scale. Another one we call it as constant returns to scale. Another one we call it as decreasing returns to scale. Okay, so 3 stages or 3 types you can see. What are they? Abdulaman, what are the 3 stages or 3 types I told you returns for the returns to scale? Abhiram, did you hear what I said?
Long run production.
In the long run. Just now I told. Only once I told.
It's like it refers to the quantitative.
Wait. Kevin, did you hear?
Ma'am, is that all inputs are variable in the long run?
Okay, listen, once more I'll tell. There are 3 types of returns to scale or 3 stages for this returns to scale. First one, increasing returns to scale, constant returns to scale, then decreasing returns to scale. Okay, so 3 types you can see. What are they? Sanam?
Increasing returns to scale, constant returns to scale, and decrease returns to scale.
Okay, now what will be the name next one? Just double it. What will be the number?
2K4L.
Okay, 2K4L. Next one, what will be? Rahul? Same proportion we are increasing.
3K, 6K,
Is it 3K? Double it, same
4K.
proportion. Yeah,
4K,
4K and
8L.
8L. Okay, now this is a second situation which I have given. Here it is 100. Second situation, that is 250. Third is 600. Okay, this is another stage. Third one, 16K. Then 32 labor. What will be the next one? Abhiram, can you think?
8K, 16.
16K. It will, when it doubles, what will be?
And 32K,
32K, and 32 will become
64L.
64L. Okay, next one, Abdul Aman. What will be the next one? Omar, can you say? Anish?
64K
Hmm.
and 128L.
128L. Okay, this is another situation. Here it is 2,400. It is 4,200. 7350. Now these are three situations given to make you to understand increasing returns, constant returns, and decreasing returns. Okay, now in this, if you see the first one, it is 600, 1,200, 2,400. So first one, if you see the first, we cannot say the percentage in the first area, it will be blank. Here it is 100%. Here it is related to the increase in the input. Input increase we are telling, okay? For how much percentage it is increasing? 100% increase, you can see it is just doubling. Again, third stage, third level, if you see there also 100% increase we can see. What about the output? What do you feel? Output, how much percentage is increasing? That also doubling it is. So that will be 100%. This also 100%. So what relation you can see between input and output? What relation you can see between input and output? Kevin, can you say?
Ma'am, both input and output are increasing in a constant rate.
Constant rate, same proportion it is increasing. So this situation shows that the input, as there is 100% increase in the input, in the employment of input, it results in 100% of output. So it shows that the same proportion, the whatever increase is happening in the employment of inputs, the same percentage increase we can see in the output. So this shows that we have a constant returns to scale. Okay, now next example. Here again, input, if you see, that is 100%. But if you see the result of output, first one is 100. So if it is 100%, how much should be the next one? Next, this number. If there is 100% increase, what should be the next number? If I'm asking. Here, listen, 600 it is. Next one, it is 1200, exactly double of that. That is why we say that 100% increase. Right. Here it is 100, output is 100. Next one, if it is 100%, what should be the number? Exactly double it should be, right? What is given then?
200.
It should be 200. But what number is, what increase it is given there in the output? It is
250.
250. So it is beyond that 100%. Okay. So output increase, if you see, that is, first one is blank. It is 250. So somewhat we can say that it is 150% increase. Okay. Next one, if you see, that is 140% increase. That shows here from 250 to 600. If it is doubling, that should be 500. There also you can see it is beyond that. It is not 500, it is 600. So what kind of returns to scale we can see in this? Is it constant? Is it decreasing? Is it increasing? It is louder. What you
I'm
said
decreasing.
is it decreasing? See, we are using 100% increase in the input, but the result, if you see, it is 150%. Don't see this relation. Okay. I'm not talking about this 150 and 140 relation. Don't take that into consideration. What I said, when there is a change in input, what is the result of it? That relation we are seeing. Okay. So here it was 250. When if it is in the output, you can see it was 250. And it has increased to 600. So if it is doubling, if it is 100%, it will be 500. Is it 500? No, it goes beyond that. It is 600. So you can see here what kind of relationship. It is increasing returns to scale. Okay. I told you we are not seeing the relationship between the outputs here. We are seeing the relationship between input and output. Like that kind of relation we see. Okay, output, how much changes are happening in the input? Because of that, what changes are happening in the output? That is what we are seeing. Okay, next one, again, input we are increasing, double it is going. So input is increasing in the at a 100%. Okay, so here 100%, here also 100%. Now the first one, it is given 2,400. If it is 100% increase in the output, what should be this number?
4,800.
4,800. So how much is given here?
4,200.
4,200. So whether there is an increase of 100% in the output?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
No. So the increase in here, you can see that is only 75%. Now the second stage, you see here, it is given 4,200. If there is a 100% increase, what should be this number? If there is 100% increase, what should be that number?
9,600.
Is it?
8,400.
8,400, double of this. Okay, 4,200, double of that. If there is a 100% increase. So here 8,400 you said. Is there 8,400 increase?
No.
No, it is only 75%. So what relation you can see between input and output here? We are increasing 100% of inputs here, but it is resulting only increase only 75% of the output. So what kind of relation you can see here?
Decreasing.
decreasing returns to scale. Okay, so just 3 examples for you to understand what do you mean by constant returns to scale, what do you mean by increasing returns to scale, what do you mean by decreasing returns to scale. Returns to scale in the sense what now? What do you mean by returns to scale? When we change all the inputs in the long run, what result we can see in the output, that is what you mean by returns to scale. What result in the sense, what all increase we can see in the output, that is what you mean by returns to scale. Okay, once more, let me tell you. When we change, when we increase the inputs, here we are talking about long run, so we can change all the inputs. There is no fixed factor. So when we are changing all the inputs in the long run, what result we can see in the output? There will be always increase, because I told that we are increasing the inputs. So when we increase the inputs, there will be an increase in the output. That proportion, there are 3 types: increasing, decreasing, constant. The first one I told that when there is an increase in 100% of input, same proportion you can see there is an increase in output, 100% increase in output. That we call it as constant returns to scale. Second situation is that 100% increase in the input, but if you see the output, there is more than 100% increase in the output. That situation we call it as increasing returns to scale. And decreasing, when we say, when there is an increase in the input that doesn't show that much same kind of proportional increase in the output, that we call it as decreasing returns to scale. Okay. Next one. So this is regarding that explanation. When there is a proportional increase in all inputs, it results in an increase in output by the same proportion. When the increase is happening in the same proportion, that we call it as, it shows the constant returns to scale. Same way, we are increasing a proportional increase in all inputs that results in an increase in the output which is larger than the use of input. That we call it as increasing returns to scale. Third, decreasing returns to scale means when there is a proportional increase in all inputs, it results in an, always you can see there is an increase in output. But what happens in this case, that increase is happening in a smaller proportion or decreasing proportion. That we call it as decreasing returns to scale. Pranav, what do you mean by constant returns to scale?
Increase in inputs result in increase in outputs in the same proportion.
Same proportion. Okay, Krishna Kanti, what do you mean by increasing returns to scale?
Increasing input results in larger proportion of increase in output.
Increase larger proportion. You understood that. Proportional increase in all inputs. When what proportion is there increase in inputs, but if you see the result, output is increasing more than that proportion, by more than that larger or more than that proportion what we used for inputs. That we call it as increasing returns to scale. Sanam, what do you mean by decreasing returns to scale?
When a proportional increase in all inputs result in an increase in output by smaller proportion.
By smaller proportion. See, whenever we increase the input, result will be what? What will be the result in relation to output? Whenever we increase inputs, it will result in what?
Increase.
Increase in output. Always it will be increase in output. That increase in output, 3 types are there: increasing returns, decreasing returns and constant returns. Okay. Now next, I'm talking about cost here. In that cost only, which I made you to do one small sum before, right? Calculate the cost of production that is coming. So I will ask that about that now. What do you mean by cost? First thing, cost of production means what? Anyone? What do you mean by cost of production? Abhiram, what do you mean by that? Cost of,
Cost of production, right?
What is that?
Cost of production, like when we like sell, when we
Hmm.
like planning on selling something, we have to like sell it on like a particular
See,
price.
production. I'm talking about production. Production means we are producing something. Okay. So what do you mean by cost of production?
Like we like produce something
When
like,
we produce,
and sell it for like
no selling here, only production.
only production. Okay.
Yeah.
Like produce like fruits and vegetables and stuff.
So what do you mean by that cost in that?
Like, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by cost in that? What do you mean by, okay, you said the cost of producing fruit. What do you mean by that? That's what I'm asking. Okay, Kevin, can you tell?
Ma'am, it's the price at which the manufacturer makes a product.
Okay, it is the cost at which or how much he is spending for producing a product. That is what you mean by cost. Okay, so here cost means how much money a producer is spending for producing a commodity. That is total expenditure incurred in producing a commodity. That is what you mean by cost. Okay, now here I told you, I gave you this example before. I gave you L, how much per it cost, K, how much it cost. I gave you these three situations. Did you calculate that cost of production? So in this, what is the cost of production? Did you calculate? L6 and 3K.
₹27.
Okay, so here it is 27 rupees. Second situation.
₹28.
28 rupees. I hope you know how to find out the cost of production. See, cost function, production function, I told you before, how do we get how much we are using and the production, how much we are getting. Same way cost function also. In the sense how much we are spending on all those things, if you add it, you will be getting. So L6, it's given 6 into what is the price you see, K into what is the price you see, 3 into what is the price I told you. Add it, you will be getting the cost. Okay. For labor, how much rupees I told? 2 rupees, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For K,
₹5.
5 rupees. So if you calculate like this, you will be getting the cost of production. So second, you told 28. Third one?
36.
Okay, 36. Now, what is the output I told you in this? Output is how much? Hmm? 50. 50 is the output. So whichever combination he use, the result will be 50. The result is 50. So which one he will choose out of this? Which combination he will be choosing?
L is equal to
And no, you tell it is given. I mean, this is first combination, this is second combination, this is third combination. Which combination the producer will choose? Hmm? This 27 is what now? 27, 28, 36. What is that now? It is
Cost of production.
cost of production. What is the output? 50. So which one he will be choosing out of these?
First one.
First one. Why? Tell. What's the reason? Abhiram, what's the reason?
Oh, I thought you asked someone else. I didn't know.
Okay, you tell. What is the reason?
Question again, I didn't hear properly.
See, 23 numbers are given, right? What are the three numbers here? Hmm?
27,
Yeah, 27.
27, 28, and 36.
Okay, this is what?
Total
Uh,
of the
cost.
cost
Okay, cost, you know what it is. How much we are spending for producing.
producing. Yeah.
What is the output I told?
50.
50. So three ways he can produce this. Okay, 3 ways he can produce this output 50. Which one he will choose?
27.
Why? That's what I'm asking. Why?
It's the cheapest.
Yeah, it is the cheapest one or it is the least expensive one. So he will always go for, you know, that as a producer, it is his aim that he should reduce the cost of production and he should aim more and more profit. So he always will be trying to reduce the cost of production. So it's these three combination, it's giving 50 only output, 50 units of output. But you see which one is the cheapest one, that will be selected by the producer. So what happens here, when input price is given, what will they will be choosing? I mean, producer will choose that combination of inputs which is least expensive for every level. For whatever be the level of output, the producer will see that which one is most cheaper for him and he will choose that particular combination. So cost function describes what? Like production function I told you before, same way cost function says that it shows that there will be a least cost combination will be there for producing a particular level of output. So what all factors at a given prices, the factors of production, what technology he is using, he will be choosing the least one. Okay, so the cost function is a relationship between, or F, C is equal to F into Q. That means what? C is equal to cost of production. Q means what? Units of output. So there is the functional relationship you can see between cost and output produced of a particular commodity. Kevin, what do you mean by the cost function?
It's
It is
the
a
relationship between the cost and the output produced by a company.
produced of a particular commodity. Abhilash, what is the formula? C is equal to?
C is equal to function of Q.
And what do you mean by what all? What do you mean by that C and Q?
C is cost of production and Q is units of the output.
Okay. Now this also, like in production function, you saw there are short run and long run. Same way in this also we have short run and long run. So first one is related to short run cost. What do you mean by short run cost? Now, short run, you know that what is the speciality of what is the difference between short run and long run? Sayuja, can you tell? What is the difference between short run and long run? Krishnakanti? Always I told that there are some differences or one main difference is there. What is that? Krishnakanti, can you tell?
Fixed factor.
Where? First you start with short run. What you said is correct. Tell.
In short run,
Hmm.
one variable is fixed
Hmm.
and other can be changed.
Other can be changed. In the sense, in the short run, some variables only can be changed. Some variables will remain fixed. Okay. Same way, in this also, we can see short run and long run. Another one thing, what is the feature of long run? What is the feature of long run, or what a difference you can see between the long run and short run? Kevin, can you tell?
Ma'am,
Short run, she told what it is. Long run.
ma'am, in the long run, the variable can change.
All the variables are changed and there is no fixed factor. There are no fixed factor. Okay. Same way, here in short run cost also, we can see that here some inputs are kept fixed, some are variable here. Here also there are two types of cost. They are fixed cost and variable cost. When we total the fixed cost and variable cost, we will be getting the total cost. If you add a fixed cost and variable cost, we get total cost. In the sense, TFC plus TVC is equal to TC. Total fixed cost plus total variable cost, you will be getting total cost. Sanam, what are the two types of short run cost?
Fixed costs and variable costs.
Variable cost. Okay. How do we get total cost?
As,
When we?
the sum of
It's not audible.
cost and
Sum of?
cost equal cost. And the sum
Oh.
total of
Your
fixed cost.
connection is getting lost, getting lost. Is it like that?
Ah,
Pranav?
And sum
Okay.
of
Now,
cost, fixed cost plus total variable
Variable
cost.
cost, we call it, we get the total cost here. Okay. Now, next one, what do you mean by total fixed cost? So before that, what all comes under fixed variable? Who can say? Fixed input. When we talk about total fixed cost, we are spending cost, expenditure incurred on fixed factors. What all comes under fixed factor in the short run? Who can say one example? Cost incurred on fixed input. You should know what do you mean by that fixed input, which we are not changing. Any example? No one knows. Vishnu? Abhilash?
Ma'am, machineries, factories.
Machineries, buildings, all those things comes under fixed input because it will not be changed in the short run. It can be changed only in the long run. So machines, it will take maybe 10-20 years for it will be durable that much. So we are not spending or we are not changing that often in the short run. So total fixed cost, when we say the expenditure incurred on the fixed factor of the production, that comes under total fixed cost. Okay, this I will continue this in the next class. One more period we have, right? Abdul Aman, Alan Thomas, Alan Verghese,
Present, ma'am.
Anish,
Present, ma'am.
Aparna, Krishna Kanti,
Present, ma'am.
Akshay,
Present,
Pavitra,
ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Pranav,
Present, ma'am.
Rahul,
Present, ma'am.
Roseanne, Sayujya,
Present, ma'am.
Vinay, Vishnu,
Present, ma'am.
Abhiram,
Present, ma'am.
Abhilash,
Present.
Abhijit, Amal, Basuri, Kevin,
Present, ma'am.
Omar, Sanam,
Present, ma'am.
Sandra, okay then. Thank you everyone. Next period will continue. Okay, bye.